Alright, so I've come out today and I'm just going to have a quick talk about the bobbing effect that people are getting when using the Osmo Mobile. And having thought about this over the last couple of days, I think it's nothing to do with the actual Osmo Mobile itself, and nothing to do with the phone you're using, whether it be the 6 Plus that's got the stabilisation or a phone that doesn't have stabilisation. And essentially, as you're walking along, you'll notice that you will naturally just, your body bobs up and down. And what the Osmo can't do is compensate for that. And the reason why it can't is the way the actual gimbal moves. So as it moves, what it's doing is smoothing out your actions as you generally pan left or up or down. So as I move around like this, as I come to a stop, the gimbal will then slow that motion down, giving you a smoother finish, instead of basically just giving you a complete stop. But as you're walking, as I said, you naturally just bob up and down. And the way the actual gimbal moves is it's rotating, as opposed to actually moving up and down vertically. So it can't compensate for vertical up and down movement. So to smooth out that action, you have to modify the way you walk. Now I'm just going to walk, as I would normally, as I did in my previous video, where you're seeing that, that bobbing effect. Now, what I'm going to do now is probably just walk a bit softer, as though I'm trying to creep around. I'm holding the Osmo out a little bit further away from me, and I'm probably sort of bending my knees a little bit more, in a hope to try and sort of smooth out that action. Now, I get that doing this in public, is going to look a bit weird, but if you're shooting by yourself, or you're trying to create a better video, then I think this is going to be okay. And I think with a bit of practice you can probably actually learn to walk a lot faster and smooth out this action. Now hopefully that is going to be a bit better than as I'm now going to demonstrate as I'm walking back like I would normally, sort of walking around town or anything like that. So hopefully that will sort of smooth out that action, probably answer some of the questions that people have been asking about this bobbing effect. I don't think, unless they change the actual way the gimbal operates, there's probably not a lot they can do. And I have to say, sort of holding the gimbal out, the Osmo Mobile out a bit further away from the centre of your body, yeah, it makes your arm ache a little bit. So let's turn around again and start walking back, and you'll get an idea. So I'm just going to hold it out a bit further, walk a bit slower, bending my knees, so I'm walking a bit softer. I mean, this is not the smoothest of terrain to walk on, but hopefully it'll give you a better idea as to how you can try and actually smooth out that bobbing effect if you're wanting to create a better looking film, or if you're doing something a little bit more interesting and you want that smoother look. Anyway, so back to walking normally again. Just to give you a better idea at how this bobbing effect is being created, if you look at the way the actual gimbal moves, so it will rotate and pitch and move like that. And as you're walking, your body is naturally bobbing up and down, and what the gimbal can't do is actually compensate for that vertical movement as you're walking, because basically the gimbal just doesn't operate like that. So it's either going to give you that effect, or the bobbing effect. So really, there's nothing that the phone or the actual Osmo Mobile can actually do to sort of compensate for that actually bobbing movement. Now, what I have found and what I've seen a couple of other people do is kind of just modify the way you're walking to try and smooth out that bobbing effect as you move. So it's, like I said in the video, it's walking a bit softer, a bit lighter. Now, it wasn't perfect when I did it, but with a bit of practice, you can probably get a fairly fairly steady shot without any bobbing. And yes, you may look a little bit silly in and around the streets, but as I said, with a bit of practice, you can probably, I don't know, get to where you can walk fairly normally and, you know, without having that bobbing effect. So I hope you found today's video useful. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, questions, please feel free to leave them below and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.